Thank you。好，同学们稍等一下。同学们可以在那个等待的期间呢，可以在 chat box 里面写一下自己感兴趣的这个方向，然后可以把自己的后缀加一个小后缀，比如说是 interest in makeup design or interest in filming，可以把 filming 或者 makeup design 加在后面。Maria 老师，我们直播大概什么时候开始？
啊，你这边说开始，我就已经开始了，这边已经开始了。
已经开始直播了是吗？OK，
对对，
好，那我就开始开始介绍了。大家好，欢迎来到今天这个我们戏剧之夜藤思的这个剧团的初创之夜吧。因为我们藤思获得了这个国际戏剧协会 ITS 的认证，那么也是刚刚拿到了这个剧团的编码 Troop 12046。所以我们的学生可以通过这个 Troop 加入我们的剧团，然后来争取这个 Thespian Award 的这个最高荣誉的奖项。也是非常感谢我们今天的 Casey 老师，Casey 老师一会儿会进行这个 presentation，非常感谢他啊，没有他就没有我们今天这个剧团的这么顺利的这个成立。So thank you Casey for everything. And today we have 20 students. About 20 students to join us. And each student, they have a different interested area. Some students are interested in act. Some are interested in script writing and design. Yeah, we have a lot of talented students joining us tonight. So I'm very excited. And once all the students started to join, I can see we have, so far we have 10 students, more than 10 students. Yeah. 同学们可以在你们的这个 chat box 里面写一下你喜欢的这个方向、兴趣方向等等，然后我们大概等个2、3分钟，我们就可以开始。Casey, do you have any video or something that you can show to the students before we officially start?
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to pull up a quick video. I would hope that the sound would be pretty good through Zoom. Let me just stop my screen share for one moment and I will pull up a quick clip just to get us started and welcome everyone. So happy to be here. I'm very excited to get started and get to know everyone.
Thank you. 我先做一个简单的介绍，关于这个我们的这个 Thespian Award。Thespian Award 是这个美国戏剧界的一个最高荣誉。那么如何竞逐 Thespian Award 作为高中生呢？需要有3个阶段。第一个阶段就是 affiliated with the troupe，那么就是我们现在藤思创立的这个经过 ITS 认证的这个 troupe。以后我们的学生如果参加 Thespian Award 的话，troupe number 就是我们今天你们看到的这个 troupe number，通过这个加入。第二步呢，会在 Casey 老师的带领下，攒积分 ，earn the points。We have to earn at least 10 points to be eligible for the Thespian Award, and then we will enter the competition. And Miss Casey will introduce that later.
All right. And in the meantime, I will just very quickly share screen again and just pop into this quick intro video from the International Thespian Festival from just a couple of years ago. And this is at the new location, which is Indiana University in Bloomington. And this event just took place a couple of weeks ago for 2024. And it'll be happening again in June of 2025. And this is the national level of the Thespi Festival. So here we go. It's a quick little intro video.
Welcome to the International Thespian Festival. We're here at Indiana University Bloomington. This is a week-long immersion in all things theater just for you thespians. With more performance venues and increased capacity, we can welcome more students than ever. Discover new skills, new friends, and new knowledge about theater. It's the place where you can attend workshops, meet with exhibitors and vendors, and attend auditions. Did I get the part? It's the week where you see, think, and do theater nonstop. ITF provides the chance to test your capabilities, discover your character, and find your passion. And that's our tour of Indiana University Bloomington. We can't wait to see all of you right here at the International Thespian Festival.
That would just be a nice little welcome intro video for everybody. I could play all kinds of interviews and clips and tutorials, but I hope that was a good intro for us, Anna.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. We can start now. I think most of students are here.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone. My name is Casey Craig. I am a lifelong theater educator, and it is my joy and privilege to start working with all of you as you embark on this exciting journey of becoming a member of the International Thespian Society. I am going to cover a lot of information in this first session. Please know that I am always happy to answer questions afterwards, and all of this information will be available to you in due course in our Google Classroom should you decide you want to join the Thespian Society through IvymindElva. And if you are just joining us, I would love for you to introduce yourself in the chat. If we have time later, we'll also have everyone open up and speak to the group. But for now, if you'd like to just write a quick intro in the chat, your name, what you might be interested in learning more about or possibly participating in with the competition. So that could be acting, singing, dancing. It could be screenwriting, script writing for film. It can be a number of different design categories, including costume design, makeup design, scenic design, lighting, sound design, stage management, marketing. These are all categories that we will just very quickly introduce today, and then we'll go into great depth and detail during our first sessions with the official troupe. So welcome, everyone. I just want to say that being a theater educator has always been my dream. Since I was in college, I always wanted to be a theater educator. And so working with all of you is me getting to live my dream. So I thank you so much. Your time is very valuable, and I appreciate you being here today. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the presentation. And again, we'll definitely have time for questions, and you can feel free to continue to drop comments and intros in the chat. And so without further ado, here is our presentation deck as an introduction to IvymindElva's International Thespian Society troupe. Our official troupe number is 12046. When we compete, we don't actually say what school we're from. I'm from Palmetto High School. I'm from IvymindElva. The official title of our troupe is 12046 for the 2024-2025 school year. So a quick overview of our agenda today. We are in the process of doing the introductions for you all in the chat. I will very quickly introduce myself so you have a little bit of context for who I am and what led me to work with this team. We will talk about the thespian induction process, how you join the Honor Society, and we will talk about the actual points system as well as the International Thespian Festival. And we will look at the individual categories for the Thespi competition. We will look at our schedule as a quick cursory overview. I will give you all a sense of what the next steps will be, what the next tasks will be, should you choose to move forward and be a part of our troupe. And then I will also let you know what some of the additional support resources are that are readily available to you should you seek to understand further and do a little bit more of a deep dive or research on your own as we first get started. Okay, so as I said, please feel free to continue populating your comments in the chat. And I will just say that for my part, I am, again, Casey Craig. I am currently living in Miami, Florida. I was born and raised in Miami, and I attended New York University for my undergraduate degree. I obtained my Bachelor of Arts in Dramatic Literature, Theater History, and Cinema Studies. I got my master's degree at Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, and my master's is a philosophy of theater and performance with a concentration in comedy. When I moved back to Miami after I completed my postgraduate degree in Ireland, I worked in the theater industry as well as in theater education. So I have worked in theaters, in the box office, in volunteer and internship management. I know what it looks like to be in the industry. And I also have a lifetime of experience teaching students that are middle school, high school, and college aged. So I currently teach at the college level, and I teach higher ed courses in theater history, acting, voice performance. I teach stage management. I've taught playwriting. I've taught acting for dance. So again, this is my joy and my passion, and I'm so happy to get to share it with all of you. So with that, a little bit, just a quick sprinkle about me. And now we're going to get into the International Thespian Society. So the International Thespian Society, also known as ITS, was founded in 1929. It is an honorary organization for high school and middle school theater students located at more than 4,100 affiliated secondary schools across America, Canada, and abroad. The mission of ITS is honoring student achievement in theater. High school inductees are known as thespians, and junior high or middle school inductees are known as junior thespians. ITS recognizes, rewards, and encourages student achievement and celebrates the work of students in all aspects of theater, both performance and production. Each student is honored on a national level and gains access to opportunities and resources beyond those of their school. So if you were to ask me, why become a thespian, Casey? Here is my answer. Becoming a thespian is a symbol of pride and recognition as you join the ranks of millions of theater students who came before you. As a thespian, you'll get access to exclusive benefits and events with theater lovers from around the world, have access to workshops and leadership opportunities to grow your skills and your resume, and you will cultivate a lifelong love of theater, whether on stage, behind the curtain, or in the audience. Thespians everywhere have access to dramatics.org. This was originally a magazine way back in the day. It was a hard copy magazine, and now they have a fully thriving website. As the official student publication of the International Thespian Society, dramatics.org is your guide to embracing your passion, honing your craft, and enjoying all things theater. You'll discover stories of thespians and thespian alumni doing amazing things inside and outside the entertainment industry. There are tips for acting, directing, designing, writing, and on and off stage skills, college and career advice for following your dreams in theater and beyond, and fun quizzes, videos, polls, and other ways to celebrate your love for theater. So once you are officially inducted, that is something that you would have access to as well. The Thespian induction process. In order to be inducted into the International Thespian Society, high school students, grades 9 through 12, must earn a minimum of 10 thespian points. 1 thespian point represents approximately 10 hours of quality work. And that term is used very liberally in terms of 10 hours. It is a symbolic number in terms of the rigor and the personal investment and commitment that you put into joining what is an honor society. Just like any other honor society, there is a prestige and a gravitas and a caliber to it. And so a position in such an honor society needs to be earned. But I just want everyone to know up front that there will not be a hard and fast rule on 1 point equals 10 hours. It is going to be based on a case-by-case individual basis of what is the project you're working on. If it takes you less time than 10 hours to complete, you will still earn those points accordingly. But in terms of on a broader international scale, that is what they typically consider to be considered 1 thespian point is about approximately 10 hours of work. So thespian points can be earned through a wide variety of projects, events, and artistic experiences. And you are going to see about 5 or 6 slides coming up that have a thorough list of suggestions. And what's also really exciting and interesting is you can propose ideas of your own. So this list that I'm going to give you is from the official International Thespian Society website, and it is a guideline. But if you have ideas of your own that you would like to pitch, I am very receptive to working with you if there's something else that you would like to pursue that would be helpful towards earning your thespian points. So students can earn up to 5 points towards induction through participation in middle school, community, children's theater, or professional theater productions, or in any other type of performing arts activity that you may have done out in the community or in a past school experience or event. So once you are inducted, students can continue to earn points for theater participation outside of school, and you can accumulate a significant number of points as you track throughout the course of your high school career. If you have done any of the aforementioned things, if you have participated in any types of shows on stage or backstage, in school or out in your community, starting from middle school, we don't count anything in elementary school, it's not primary school, but if you can count things from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on, we can go back and track past points, and those will count towards your induction process. So students can track their own points using an official worksheet, which I will provide to you as the troupe director. So how do we earn thespian points? Here's how. It is a very long list, but as I just said, it is not exhaustive. If you come up with an idea that you really like, let's roll with it. Let's see if we can figure it out together, okay? So when you are earning thespian points, we encourage you to try to earn points across multiple different areas. So doing a little bit of performance as well as a little bit of technical or design projects as well. And there's, again, a wide variety of different ways to earn points. So I sincerely hope that some of these ideas will be interesting, exciting, beneficial, and advantageous to you. So student activities, as examples, you can take a theater class online or in person, which would be separate from our troupe. You can participate in a virtual or in-person workshop, which you could seek out on your own, and I can also provide you with a list of recommendations. You can attend a virtual or in-person theater festival, such as a chapter event or the International Thespian Festival, so that counts, of course, towards that in the future. Watching a live or recorded performance and creating a short written response or a video review, and you share it with our troupe. This is one that I want to highlight for just a quick moment. Watching a live or recorded performance. If you can go out and see a live show, any type of live performing arts event out in your community, I strongly encourage you to do so. But I know that it can be logistically challenging at times for folks to get out to see a show and coordinate that with their schedules. In light of that, it says right there on the official document that you can watch a recorded performance. I have on our new Google Classroom for thespians a huge list of theatrical productions that have been recorded that you can watch on the streaming platforms that are very mainstream, like Netflix and Amazon Prime and HBO Max, and also professional productions that have been graciously posted for free on YouTube. So just one example that comes to mind right off the top of my head, Legally Blonde, the musical, the official Broadway production was professionally recorded and was posted for free on the internet. You can watch that whole show for free on YouTube, write a short review, a 1-page double-spaced review, or record a 60-second, 2-minute video recording of yourself talking about what you liked, what you disliked, what were the best performances, what were the technical components or the costume quick changes that you found really impressive, what would you have done differently if you were directing the show. And I can, again, provide a lot of guidance and resources and support in terms of how to write theater reviews. And this is a nice, easy way to start tracking and earning thespian points. Additional ways to earn points, you could participate in a theater competition. Perhaps you could find a playwriting competition out in the community. There are free lessons on the Educational Theater Association website on all different types of areas of interest, both performance and design. So let's say, for example, you're interested or curious in doing stage management as one of your competition entries. You could go on this website and do a whole lesson tutorial on stage management. That's helpful for you in preparation for the event. And you're also going to earn thespian points by completing those lessons online on your own time, asynchronously. It's very convenient. It's very reader friendly. It's very user accessible. I'm a huge fan of this example as well. All right, additional ways. Like I said, there are a lot. You can enter a playwriting contest. You could participate in virtual field trips organized perhaps by educators in your school. You can attend our virtual theater club meetings. That counts. Each of our monthly meetings will count towards 1 point. You will have the option of creating and delivering a presentation on thespian history. You could participate in a theater or other community outreach event as a troupe member representing our troupe. You can perform at a community venue, indoor or outdoors, such as an elementary school or playground or public library or a park. You could participate in a clothing or food or charity drive as a member of Thespians. If you are doing service or community service or some other type of volunteerism, we absolutely count that towards your points. Performing a virtual reading of a public domain book for a child care center or elementary school or a nursing home. You could raise money for the Thespian Relief Grant. You could create face masks for fellow thespians or teachers or essential workers. You could create a presentation or letter, attend and advocate for theater education at a school board meeting. You can participate in other types of events and activities that are focused around promoting theater education. You could participate in a local town hall or participate in virtual meetings with local, state, or federal elected officials. You could serve as a troop officer, and we will have officer elections during our second Thespian meeting. Serve as a student or provincial Thespian officer for your chapter. So our chapter is Pennsylvania, and that's something that you could explore as a larger leadership role and a larger responsibility within the larger community of thespians. You could organize or participate in a fundraising initiative. You can mentor future thespians about attending a chapter festival or the International Thespian Festival. You could record a tutorial on a tech theater skill that we could use and keep in our vault in our IvymindElva archive. You can write, perform, and record an original song or monologue, an original piece, if that's something that's of interest to you. You could perform at an open mic night, which we're actually going to do as one of our workshop events. If you had the opportunity to perform in a show, you could do a full lead role or a supporting acting role in a virtual or in-person production. And you could fulfill a principal production role, such as costumes or set or lighting design or stage management for either a virtual or in-person performance. You could develop a hypothetical design plot for a specific show, create drawings, and create visuals to support your ideas using household items. You could participate in tech, which would be a non-principal role for a school performance or assembly. Clearly, the list goes on. And again, you are more than welcome and thoroughly encouraged to devise your own ideas and let me know, and we can work on that proposal together and align it with the Thespian Points expectations. So lots of ideas, lots to think about. And again, I really appreciate everyone's time and attention. I know I'm hitting you all with a lot of information, and I really appreciate your receptivity, your engagement, and your time, which is again so valuable. So that's how you earn points. Once you have your 10 points, which the goal is to have them by mid-October, so we can formally induct everyone and have student leadership positions. So student leadership positions in Thespians. Thespian officers are leadership positions within the troupe. Thespian officers will assist the troupe director in various capacities and will help the entire troupe achieve success with individual and shared responsibilities to be assigned by me, the troupe director. Peer voting will determine the officer board during one of the first thespian meetings of the new school year, and the officer positions for our troupe will include a president, vice president, a secretary, and a historian. So I actually started out my freshman year of high school as historian, and I was the historian for my Thespian Society my freshman and sophomore year of high school. In my junior year, I was vice president, and in my senior year, I was president. So again, I just want to reinforce how excited I am to work with all of you, because this is something that has been a part of my life for 20 years. And this is a very, like I said, very prestigious honor society. It is the only theater honor society in the world. And so we will host those elections of our officer board during our second meeting. And we'll have those for thespian officers for the duration of the school year. And then we would elect new officer positions for the following school year. So we're funneling it down, right? Getting into the International Thespian Festival. The festival is an annual event that is open to all theater students. Activities at the Thespian Festival include interactive workshops, college auditions, and the Thespi Awards. There are scholarship opportunities through both those college auditions and additional opportunities. And the Thespi Awards is the primary reason we're here. That is the bread and butter of our thespian troupe, is working towards submissions for the Thespian Awards competition. So the 2025 National Festival will take place June 22nd to June 27th of 2025 at Indiana University, Bloomington. There will be opportunities for virtual participation as well as in-person attendance. Just want to put that food for thought out there for everyone. So the Thespi Awards, drum roll, please, everyone. The International Thespian Excellence Awards, also known as the Thespies. The Thespies program is designed to provide educational feedback for thespians on their theatrical performances, technical presentations, and other areas of theatrical expertise in order for them to improve their prepared theatrical materials, expand their performance and technical competence, and develop their professional and presentation skills. The program honors high-achieving students by advancing them from regional to international levels of adjudication in 21 official categories spanning performance, technical theater, filmmaking, and writing. Students are adjudicated by theater educators and professionals on rubrics that reflect national standards in theater education. So full disclosure and just a tiny bit more insight, as I just mentioned on a previous slide, I was a thespian president when I was in high school. When I was a classroom educator prior to working at the college level, I would have students compete extensively in these competitions, and I'm very competitive. And so my students would be very successful. But in addition to serving as a thespian troupe director, I have also been a judge. I have adjudicated for other districts in multiple different categories. So I just want you all to know, as we embark on this adventure together, that I am empathetic and receptive and understanding of every aspect and facet of this competition and this awards process. I have been there as a student, I have been there as a chaperone and as an educator and as a troupe director, and I've been there as a judge, as an adjudicator. So we've got our bases covered here, you guys. We're gonna have a great time. Let's rock and roll. So the Thespi Awards, we'll start off with the performance categories, and then we'll talk about the technical categories. So with the performance categories, we have acting, solo, duet, and group. Those are 3 separate categories. Musical theater, dance, is also solo, duet, and group, 3 separate categories. Musical theater performance, which is more vocal based, solo, duet, and group, same idea, all different categories. For both performance and technical categories, students may participate in multiple categories, but students may only submit 1 entry per category. So what does that mean? What does that mean, Casey? I'm going to explain it. Here's what that means. If you would like to submit several different entries in different categories, you have time and you are motivated to invest in this program. You want to do playwriting, you want to do stage management, you want to do an acting piece. You can do that. You can do a little bit of design, you can do a little bit of performance in different categories, but I cannot do 2 or 3 duet acting scenes. I can't be in this duet acting scene and that duet acting scene. It has to be 1 entry per category for any individual student. So I hope that distinction is clear and makes sense, and I'm more than happy to explain it again later. So with the performance categories, acting, solo acting. In a solo acting performance, the thespian must prepare 2 contrasting monologues from published works written for the theater. It can be a play or a musical. Most musicals have parts that are spoken. Most musicals are not sung straight through. Some are, most are not. So you can do it from a play or a musical for the stage. It cannot be from a film or a television show or anything of that nature. When you do the performance, it is not to exceed 3 minutes in combined length. This is standard. The 1-minute monologue is a very common term. If you're telling yourself that 3 minutes is the combined length, you could have a piece that's a minute and another one that's 2 minutes. They could each be about 90 seconds, but you do not want to go over time because then you are disqualified. So contrasting monologues, what does that mean? It means that it can be from a different time period. It's different genres. The tone of the piece is different. So I'm going to do 1 monologue that is serious and 1 monologue that is funny. I'm going to do a comedic piece and a dramatic piece. Or I'm doing 2 monologues that are funny, but one is from Shakespeare from hundreds of years ago and one is from last year. So you could do something that is classical and contemporary, comedic and dramatic. They need to be contrasting in some way. So when it comes to duet and group acting performances, thespians should prepare non-musical scenes, again, from a published work written for the theater that does not exceed 5 minutes in length. So more people, more time. A duet acting scene is defined by the International Thespian Excellence Awards as a performance for 2 players. A group scene is defined as a performance for 3 to 16 players. In each case, every participant must be actively involved in the scene chosen for the performance. The translation of that is no one can be a background actor. Everyone needs to be participatory. There are lines, there is blocking and movement and acting and performance as opposed to just background bodies. If someone is in the scene, there needs to be a reason. Okay, so performance categories, musical theater, dance. You have, again, 3 separate categories: solo, duet, and group. In a musical theater dance performance, the thespians must present 1 dance selection from a published score written for a musical theater scene with a focus on dance performance that does not exceed 5 minutes in length. So again, it must be from a stage musical. The adjudicators will consider how well the piece is danced as well as how well it is acted. This is a dance-focused category. Singing, dialogue, and lip syncing are not allowed in this category, except to include brief moments of vocalization if required to perform the piece. So only if it is naturally a part of or incorporated into the piece. Performance categories, musical theater performance. So the vocals. So solo, duet, and group. In a musical theater performance, the thespians must present 1 selection, not to exceed 5 minutes. The adjudicators will consider how well the piece is acted as well as how well it is sung. And then in terms of a little bit of the practical logistics, All musical theater performances must be accompanied by pre-recorded non-vocal musical accompaniment. It is strongly recommended that the file be downloaded onto a device rather than relying on a streaming file, as internet connectivity can be unreliable in various settings. A sound system is provided for playback, but performers may choose to bring their own Bluetooth speaker if they desire. No live music is permitted, including live accompanists. Tracks may not include background vocals. So if you are singing, it needs to be a karaoke track. There cannot be any of the original singer's voices taken out and like still audible. A cappella performances are not permitted unless the selection was specifically written to be performed as such in the musical. So a cappella as in without any background track, without any soundtrack or score. And I will say that for the Thespy Festival competition, the regional rounds, the first round of the competition will be video submissions. And then the second round of the competition, it will be discretionary, whether it's in person at the national level or video submissions. I can say that you all definitely know what your comfort level is in terms of technology and what you feel the best adept to work with. And if this is a category or if any of the musically driven categories are something that you're interested in, you and I will work out the nitty-gritty details to make sure that everything works very smoothly for you. All right, the technical categories, you guys, here we go. Costume construction, costume design, lighting design, makeup design, playwriting, scenic design, short film, sound design, stage management, and theater marketing. Note, with the exception of short film, only one thespian may be involved in the technical design categories. No collaborations are permitted, but up to 16 students may collaborate on one short film. So if you want to do costumes, playwriting, marketing, stage management, makeup, any of those things have to be done independently. But if you're interested in doing a short film project, you can work as a group. So let's get into a little bit of detail on these categories. Playwriting. In a playwriting adjudication, the thespian must write and submit an original short play. The plays must be the original work of a single thespian writer. Collaborative works or adaptations are not permitted, nor are plays that include music, lyrics, or dialogue written by anyone other than the submitting writer. Only one play may be submitted per student. Students should write a short play on any subject with a running reading time of 30 minutes or less. In the theater, the rule of thumb is that one page is the equivalent of about 1 minute. If you structure the actual text like a script is supposed to be written out, one page is usually about 1 minute of performance time. Authors are encouraged to write authentic stories as examined through their own unique lens and explore themes to which they deeply relate through various aspects of their characters. Authors should tell the story they want to tell in their own individual manner. And just as a friendly reminder for anyone that says, I don't have experience in a certain category, I have extensive experience with the thespian competition, and some of these categories are things, as I said, I teach at the higher education level. I have been teaching playwriting for the past 5 years, and I absolutely love it. So if this would be a new type of experience for you, please don't ever hesitate. That's what I'm here for, is to give you that guidance and support and encouragement to break outside your comfort zone and be creative and be bold. All right, in all of your artistic endeavors. So, film. In a short film adjudication, the thespian must create an original short film. The film must be of original content and may be a collaboration among up to 16 thespians. So of course it can be fewer. Adaptations are not permitted. Only one film may be submitted per student or group in one of the following genres: short live action film, short animated film, short documentary film. Separate rubrics are included for each category, and you all will have access to all of that information right away so you understand the expectations and KPIs for any of the categories that you enter. Music used in short films must be properly credited, whether it is original, in the public domain, or copyrighted. Music credits must appear among other credits at the end of the film. If copyrighted music is used, proof of payment for the rights to the use of that music must be documented and shared with the adjudicators. The film should be uploaded to YouTube with privacy settings set to public or unlisted for adjudication. Costumes, there are two different types of costume categories. There's one that is costume construction and the other is costume design. So costume construction entries, the thespian must display and discuss one realized costume execution for a character from a published work written for the theater. Costumes for performances of original works, poetry, fiction, screenplays, television, concerts, or any other medium are not permitted. That sentence, we're going to see it recurring. And that's just because I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page and that we reinforce that anything that you are pulling as source material, other than that one category, you're making an original film. If it's not an original film, any source material must be from a theatrical production, from a produced and published piece for the stage, nothing else. And as I said earlier, only one thespian may be involved in the construction of a costume. No collaborations are permitted. So we are talking a physical costume construction. You are designing and you are developing and you are creating a real outfit. Costume design is renderings. In a costume design entry, the thespian must prepare and present costume designs for a published work written for the theater. So this is going to be where you're actually doing the sketches as opposed to actually physically creating the costume. So again, designs for performances of original work, poetry, fiction, screenplays, television, concerts, or any other medium are not permitted. Only one thespian can be involved in the design. Designs for either theoretical or realized productions are acceptable. That means that if you actually created a costume for a school play, you could use that as your source material. Stage management. I also teach stage management. Let's do this. In a stage management entry, the thespian must present digital and/or physical documents that showcase the stage manager's prompt book and other paperwork for a production of a published work written for the theater. Students will create a portfolio of materials, either bound or digital, that exhibits consistency, clarity, and organization of materials. Examples of stage management paperwork include prop lists, costume change plots, rehearsal calendars, rehearsal reports, and other production-specific documents. Students will also deliver a 5 to 8 minute presentation summarizing the work with connections to concept, collaboration, and design decision-making. Since I teach this as a college course, I have ample examples of very well done paperwork that I just mentioned. I have templates. I have YouTube web tutorials that are very highly regarded to, again, give you ample guidance, structure, foundation support, both during our meetings together and on your own time for your own independent research. This is a great category for people that find themselves very organized, very meticulous. If you're very detail-oriented, very thorough, if you don't mind putting together paperwork and drafting up documents, this might be a great category for you. Somewhat similarly, but if you have a little bit more of an artistic eye, if you enjoy doing things like Canva or Adobe, marketing. In a theater marketing entry, the thespian must prepare a marketing campaign for a production of a published work written for theater. Again, nothing else. Only one thespian may be involved in the design. Designs for either theoretical or realized productions are acceptable, though it is strongly recommended that the thespian was responsible for the actual publicity in a realized production. So again, if you are able to hitch your wagon to a school or community theater production, and you actually devise all of this paperwork and all these assets, then you would be able to use them for your entry into the competition. So students will create a portfolio of support materials, again, either bound or digital, that methodically works through the marketing process and includes sample documents, including a marketing budget, press releases, posters, tickets, promotional handouts, social media templates, and so forth. Love marketing. Additional technical categories. Lighting design. In a lighting design entry, the thespian must prepare and present costume designs. It's supposed to say lighting designs. Sorry about that. Lighting designs for a published work written for the theater. And only one thespian may be involved in that design. One typo in my presentation, guys. Sorry about that. Makeup design entries. The thespian must prepare and present makeup design renderings for a published work written for theater. For the purposes of thespian adjudications, teeth and hair are considered a part of the makeup design and should be included. And I would love to talk about wigs and hair and makeup, and we will circle back to that another time. For the sake of time, we'll keep plugging right along. Additional technical categories, scenic design. In a scenic design entry, the thespian must prepare a scenic design for a published work written for theater. Only one thespian may be involved in the design. Designs for either theoretical or realized productions are acceptable. The model may be generated through multiple physical or digital media, including SketchUp, Vectorworks, or 3D printers. So if this is an area of expertise that you may have or something you'd like to pursue learning more about, scenic design might be the right category for you. Sound design. In a sound design entry, the thespian must prepare a sound design for a published work written for theater. Students will submit an extensive portfolio of requested materials and also deliver a 5 to 8 minute presentation summarizing the work with connections to concept, collaboration, and decision making. The thespians may use digital media during the presentation, or the thespian may bring photo boards or other visual aids, think like a mood board, to display along with the demonstrated sounds. Students may also choose to submit an optional written essay to share additional information about the sound design with the adjudicators. So justifying your choices for your designs. So those are all of your categories. Here is our monthly breakdown for our thespian meetings. This is as a collective. This would be our whole group, our whole troupe meeting together. This is our first welcome meet and greet, and I very much wholeheartedly hope to have all of you join us in the future. And the future would start very soon. That would be August. So in August, during our monthly thespian meeting, this is just a very condensed agenda. We would do a greater deep dive into a discussion of thespian points, the induction process, and a discussion of the officer board, as well as temperature checking, engaging anyone's interest or receptivity to being a part of the thespian officer board. Then we would talk again about the thespian competition, the Thespi Awards, the national festival in the summer of next year, and just a general overview and guidance for what that looks like for anyone that is new or anyone that is well-versed and experienced in performing arts. I can assure you, I will meet you all in the middle. I'm very, very well-versed and capable of helping everyone individually and collectively. We will collaborate as director and performer or director and designer. And you will also collaborate with your peers, which is, for me, the best part when you all get to collaborate together. So we will talk about the Thespi competition, and then with the time we have left during our August meeting, we will do some actual proper icebreakers, improv, and some team building so we can start to create a sense of ensemble and unity and cohesion in our artistic group, in our lovely little thespian troupe. Then in September, we would do a thespian points check-in How are you doing? Are you making progress? It's almost a project management perspective on budgeting your time to make sure that you are able to get all of your thespian points accrued in order to be inducted in time to participate in the Thespi competition. In order to be in Thespians, you have to have those points. In order to participate in the competition, you have to be a thespian. Your points have to be earned before you can submit those entries. So there is a time sensitivity to it. And yet at the same time, I can assure you all that we have enough time to get it done. It just has to be done expeditiously in those first couple of months of the school year. We will be fully focused on earning those thespian points and ascertaining what competition categories you're participating in so that we can be fully ready to go by the time that those submissions are required. So we will do a thespian points check-in in September. We will do a competition check-in to see if you know what you're working on and you're getting the rehearsal or the design process going. We will vote for our thespian troupe officer board in that second meeting. And then time permitting at the end, we will do a workshop on best practices for rehearsals and auditions. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave it there on that slide. I could talk about rehearsals and auditions for a whole other hour. So in October, we will have our thespian induction ceremony. And that is when you will have officially accrued your 10 points to formally be honored as a member of Thespians so that you can then move forward with the rest of the school year and participate in all of the other events. We will also have in October a workshop on professional development and industry networking. In November, we will be really focused in on the rehearsal process for the competition. So we will be doing breakout groups. We will be asking people that would like to present or perform because they're ready to receive feedback and critique. It'll be a really hands-on, immersive process as we get closer and closer to the deadline for those initial submissions for the regional Thespi competition. In November, as I mentioned earlier, we will also have an open mic night. What does that mean? I will tell you. An open mic night means let's have fun and perform and celebrate all of the talent in this group with things that aren't theater. We have to do theater because it's thespians. But what if you have a monologue or a speech from a movie or a TV show that you love? Maybe you're a writer and you want to practice performing your own work. Maybe you've written something and you want some of the other members of the troupe to do a stage reading for you where they have a copy of the script. They don't have to memorize it, but you can hear your own original words out loud. So an open mic night is going to be a very fun, relaxed, flexible, organic experience where you all will bring your ideas to the table and say, look, I have these interests that align with performing arts, but they're not in theater. And that'll be our opportunity to celebrate all the talent in this group. And last but not least, in December, we will officially submit for the Thespi competition. So we're going to have performances and presentations. Think of December as your dress rehearsal. Our December meeting will be a chance for you to raise the stakes by performing or presenting live for the rest of our group, but also knowing that we will have cultivated a really safe, supportive community over the last few months. And so what better way to practice your material than with a group of fellow artists who you know are here to support you and they're on your side. So that takes us through the end of this year. Rather than jump into a calendar for 2025, which I thought would be a lot, I thought I would just do a quick competition timeline overview. And then we're going to open the floor to questions and comments. And again, I really, really thank you all so much for your time and attention. I know it's a lot to take in. I know it's a lot of information, and I'm really grateful for everyone being here. So the competition timeline and just a general sense, let's kind of sum up. August and September, we will determine competition categories and the content that you will be performing or presenting and designing. In October, we will have our Thespian induction ceremony. And that does relate to the competition because you must be inducted in order to participate in the competition. In November, we will be very thoroughly immersed in the rehearsal process. December will be the deadline to submit materials for the THESPI competition. So your recorded entries for that first regional round. Then in January is when the regional THESPI competition actually takes place and when everything will be adjudicated. February to May, we will continue to have our monthly meetings, and anyone that has qualified for the national event in June will continue to work on and revamp and revise and enhance and refresh their pieces. And then in June of 2025 is the International Thespian Festival. All are welcome, and those that have qualified with high enough scores will also be able to participate in the THESPI competition at the national level. So in closing, this is like just a lovely quote. I love inspirational quotes, no matter what, whether they're related to theater or anything else. I just love inspirational quotes. And I thought this would be a nice quote to close with. The most organizing conversation starter is, what do we want to create together? And so the action items and next steps that you all would be looking into as you move forward is to start selecting tasks to earn the 10 thespian points for your induction into our IvyMind troop, number 12046. And you will review the competition categories for the THESPI Awards to consider what areas of performance and or design you are most interested in. These are the additional resources which I will copy and paste into the chat in just a moment, in case you want to get a head start on everything. We will be sharing the Google Classroom with all of you that choose to enroll in our troop. And then if you would like to seek to understand a little bit more on your own, I will drop in the chat the homepage for the International Thespian Society, a page, a website that is about the thespian experience as a whole, what it means to be a thespian. The student welcome page, which is just a little context and foundation to get everyone acclimated to being a member of this organization. I will include a page that is specifically focused on the THESPI Awards and the THESPI's program guide. This is from 2024, but since they just finished this year's festival, I think they'll be uploading the one for next year very soon. Please be assured these rules, very little to nothing changes. So this document, the THESPI's program guide, as soon as they've released, their marketing team has released the new one, I will post it accordingly. In the meantime, all of this information will still be relevant and accurate moving forward into next year. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste that into the chat here in just a second. And again, thank you all so much for your time. If you want to take a quick screenshot, or if you already have Anna's contact info through WeChat, please feel free and encouraged to reach out. And again, I will drop the links that I just shared in the chat. And I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Casey. All these are very, very helpful information. Thank you for getting us the information. Thank you. And we do have one question from, I think this is from a parent. Audience asked how to apply for the Thespian scholarship.
So that is a great question. It's going to depend on the students' participation in the festival. And that is something that is going to require a little bit more of a deep dive on my part. I'm very happy to follow up with the parents in that regard. It's a little bit of new territory for me in terms of the scholarships, but what I will say in terms of the college auditions at the festival, that actually will entail scholarships as well. So let's say a student decides to audition for a group of colleges. After a student presents, the schools that are interested in offering a place in their conservatory program or in their drama major program, they will reach out to those students and offer a package of potential both academic and artistic scholarships. I want to just go back and fact check the thespian scholarship specifically, because I don't want to misspeak and accidentally give any kind of incorrect information. But I do want to sort of reiterate that in terms of getting your bang for your buck. College auditions at a festival are fantastic for anyone that is interested in a performance track. The reason the festivals are great is because there are so many schools in one room. You have these representatives from a vast array of large and small colleges and universities across the country. And so you perform for a room of 30 or 40 X number of schools all at once, as opposed to I have to apply to NYU, I have to apply to Juilliard, I have to apply to Carnegie Mellon, and every single one is different. Every single audition is separate. Perhaps there will be colleges or universities at the festival that a student is or is not interested in, but that is going to maximize the scholarship opportunities at that national level. And in terms of the thespian scholarship specifically, I promise I will look into that, because now I'm really curious. I want to see what the details are too.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. That's a great question. Thank you. I love to learn too.
Next